All right, guys, so we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. So at this point, if you're through all the first four parts here, we've got our app set up where we're able to click on a button, or excuse me, on one of two buttons, and we either get a red background or a blue background based on the button, and we did that by setting up the segue identifier. So you also did a review problem at the start of class today, so we're ready to roll here. So in this next part, we're going to actually take an image and we're gonna pass some information through our segue. So that's why, again, yesterday we saved those images, and we should have in our assets folder a future and a past picture. So make sure you have that ready to go. But yeah, so we're going to get into this here. We're going to move this image. So basically, the goal here. All right, so I'll show you, just give you an idea of where we are heading. Is we are going to be able to, based on, we're going to press either the past or the future, and based on whatever button we press, we're going to get a different image to show up here. So again, we're not going to, so we're going to have to code this because we only have one screen, but we don't want to put both on here. We want to, if we hit the past, we want the past picture. If we hit the future, we want the future picture. So let's make that happen. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is let's get an image view. Let's go ahead and add that to our storyboard. We'll place it right about here. Just give that a good height and width to it. All right, and then let's go ahead and let's get this centered up here. So that's with our image view selected. Let's go to our alignment here. We're going to go horizontal. Why don't we just put this horizontal in both the center and vertical here. Add that constraint. We need the pin, so let's add the width and height, and then add our two constraints. And then we'll just take the autocomplete help here. We'll fix that up and fix the misplacement. We're ready to go. Okay, so now that image view will be placed nicely in the middle of our screen. And then we need to hook it up here to an outlet. So we got to make sure to do that when we click on our assistant editor. Make sure you are in the second view controller. Remember, we set that up previously here because this is going to live on the second view controller. So we're going to hook it up here. So control drag, we'll just call this image view. It's an outlets, and we'll go ahead and connect that. All right, so that's the first thing there. And then again, we should already have our images inside of the image assets folder. All right, so that's part one here. Okay, so the second thing we are going to do, okay, so again, when we go to our second view controller, let's just clean some of this up here. Actually, let's get rid of this code from here to did receive memory warning, delete. Make sure you have your curly brace here. Just make a little less code to look at, a little easier to follow, which is always good. And then let's do this here. Okay, so we're ready now to, we're going to pass some information forward. All right, so let's go to our second view controller file. All right, and then what we need to think about here is this. All right, so when we go from this view controller, all right, we're going to segue using this, and right now we have a color being passed, red or blue, based on the identifier. So what we want to do now is we want to do the same thing here, but when we click on past or future, we want to pass an image forward. So to do that, we need to kind of have a little destination for this image to come through here. So we're going to go to second view controller, and at the top here, we're going to create a variable called new image. So var new image, and it's going to be of type UI image. And then we're going to throw our exclamation point there, because they'll be screaming at you to add that. So basically, this is going to be kind of the container that we're going to pass our image to. We're going to pass the image forward from view controller to second view controller into new image. So this is going to be kind of the storage where it's going to hang out here. Okay. So now let's go back to our view controller. Okay, and we want to go ahead and we want to now pass this forward. Okay, so now we recall from yesterday we want new VC. All right, so again, we're working with this destination view controller. And notice when we go dot, it accesses all the properties that are on this new view controller. And you'll notice image view is there. Okay, so that's one of the that's the outlet that we made. Okay. We don't want to pass it to image view. We want to pass it to our storage container first. We want to pass that to new image. Now just go ahead and type that in. It's not going to pick up right away, but once we type it, you'll notice it highlights, and it's going to basically show us that, yep, we know what you're talking about. So now what do we want to pass new image is we want to pass one of our images in our assets folder. So we're going to go UI image, okay, then we're going to go named. And then this is where I think we called the first one future. Let's just double check. All right, that makes no sense. This is past, so we're going to change the name of that to past. Again, I'm not referring to the identifier. I'm referring to this picture file name of past. Okay, so now when it moves forward, so again, when we click on the past button, okay, it's going to pick up the identifier of past, and then it's going to go through and it's going to find that image and send it forward to new vc.newImage, which is right here. Okay, so then when this view loads up, okay, so when the view loads, we need to go make it appear in our image view. So if we go image view dot image, that's going to be equal to new image. Okay, so now just clear that out so we can see that out a little more clearly. So when this view loads up, remember, the new image is going to have the image stored in it, and then it's going to put that image into our image view. All right, so let's go back to view controller. All right, let's come back down the line here. Let's go new VC dot new image. Yeah, because we have a conditional, because if they hit the future button, we want the UI image to be the future image. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter now that we have the conditional set up. It doesn't matter that we only have one new image container. It's only going to pass one based on what we click. So let's run this. Let's take a look here and see how this is looking and see if we did this right. Kind of moment of truth here. There we go, loading up here for us. Trust me, it's going to show up here eventually, so fast forward in the video if you'd like to, because this is taking long, but slowly but surely it is coming alive here. There it is. Okay, so let's see, we got past. There's my past picture. I come back. Future. There is my future picture. Sweet. So things are working here. So it's a pretty nice little app that we got going. Okay, so again, it's segueing, and based on what button we press, our if statement is telling us what should show up on this next view controller. All right, so that's pretty cool there. All right, so you got a lot of things happening with this app here. So again, the key thing in passing that image forward is you got to create the destination, to store it in. So you could do this with an UI image. This could be a string, so you could do the same thing if you wanted to pass a string forward. Okay, so basically, and then that's going to be a little challenge problem I'm going to give you guys next here. All right, but just so keep this in mind. var new image could easily be var new string colon string right here, and then we could pass things forward into a label. But so you're doing a lot of things, but it's all being set up right here. This is where we're sending the information. It's coming from here, and it's ending up in new image, and then ending up for the viewer to see in the image view. So it's kind of progression from one to the second to the third part here. All right, so once you finish that up, all right, again, just let me know so I can check your screen and see how you did here. And then after that, like I said, the next thing is there will be kind of some extension problems, on TimeTravel. We did the first part together, and I'm going to give you some kind of extra credit challenges to do on your own to see if you can get to work based on what we did here. And then after that, we'll work on our unit app called Wordplay. So nice job, guys, working through this. Let me know when you're done, and we will go from there. See you guys.